buildings are being built. That is why things are getting a little less chaotic because the company is continuing to grow. Things are taking place that are sending them into their next level. But their next level and your next level don't look the same because you ain't a big company. You just you. You just you and your family. So you need to be thinking about you and your family because they not thinking about you or your family. That's why you gotta be responsible. That's why you gotta hold yourself accountable for doing the things that you need to do. That's why you need to take responsibility of the things that you got going on. That's why you need to be the one taking care of your family, not them. You need to be figuring out how to make your own money because if you figure out how to do it on your own, and nobody can tell you. Nobody can tell you.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're back in the lab once again earlier this morning at 4:12. But before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. How we doing, Mac?
It's been a little bit of a rough week, man.
Come on.
In the spirit of women who can do everything better than a man can. Alyssa took a fall this week, and her fall was a lot worse than mine.
Come on.
Yeah. The baby's fine. That's the good news, but she ended up breaking her elbow. So yeah, we dealing with that right now, and yeah, man, it's a little rough, man, because as a man, you just like, bruh, the one thing that I can't protect you from is yourself, and like just looking at at the situation and the whole, it's like, yo, you helpless to do anything. Like you're powerless. Like there's nothing you can do. Like you can bring her all the stuff that she needs. You can like do everything for her, but like at the end of the day, like she's still feeling this pain, and like it's rough, man. It's rough. Like especially like while she's pregnant too. Like it just is. It's challenging, man. Like it's hard to see to just sit there and watch the person that you love just go through like deal with a whole bunch of pain, and then like on top of that, she can't take nothing either because pregnant women can't take painkillers because they're pregnant. So yeah, man, that's pretty much what I've been going through all week, man. So it's been up and down the road, going to doctors' offices and all this other type of stuff. We pretty much missed the whole week of work. So like, I mean, I guess that's a plus if you look at it in a certain light, but yeah, like I've been thinking about the fact that like I was talking to Bree about it, and she was like, the farther along she is in this pregnancy, the worse it's gonna get for you. She was like, you a dude that like to have control of situations, and this is just one you can't control. You gonna have to be okay with that. I'm like, man, yeah.
Lord. Well, I mean, the bright side is that everything's going to be all right. Everything is it's not too bad to the point where all hope is lost. It's just a rough patch you have to go through.
Yeah, that part right there that you just said, like it's like a matter of perspective too. Like I
Mm.
don't necessarily believe that there's a all hope is lost moment. Like I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Like it's just a matter of how much hope you willing to have. I guess that to
Yeah,
say that.
I could feel that. Yeah, uh, yeah, because a lot of people they'll catastrophize over a situation like this. They'll be thinking of all the wrong things, stressing themselves out, stressing they
Yeah,
significant other that is pregnant out, and then
yeah.
you know, uh, which is never good. It's never good to stress out a pregnant woman or be a negative to their pregnancy instead of being that positive light. Just helping them out whatever way you can. Um, being in that position, a lot of men have to switch, and I wouldn't even say switch because that goes up under the role of being the provider. You gotta kind of be a servant in that moment or moments like that. Kind of uh stop, get out of yourself, and protect your woman. Or your significant other. Be a a backbone for your legacy, your lineage, and all that other stuff. But
I'm
some
just
people
trying
can't get
to.
out of that.
Yeah, to that note though, I'm trying to figure out like how I work in relationships with dudes, just like where their woman do everything for them,
Mm,
and then their
mm-hmm.
woman get pregnant and can't move around the way she want to. Like it make me think about those type of situations. Like what happens in those relationships? Did the dude just did he just like all of a sudden just start doing everything for himself? Like how does that? I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
I can imagine how it's gonna go, but it's not necessarily a pretty picture.
Never is. Never is.
Yeah,
Oh man. Oh, how the tables will turn, and they just like, I'm supposed to do what now?
nah, for real though, it's like it's dudes out here who mad because they ain't getting sex while they women pregnant though.
I've been seeing like stuff talking about that, like, and I was just, I, I'm baffled. I'm just like, I think it was something I was watching. It was like, did men get a pass to step out on they wives or whatever while they pregnant or something like that?
Right. All right, so
Oh,
check this out, right? I am in full belief that, and I don't know. This could just be my girl, right? I don't know. I am in full belief that if your sex life dies after pregnancy, then I believe that your girl just don't like you.
and I've heard that also. And sitting in college one day, I was sitting beside this girl I went to school with or whatever, and she was pregnant at the time, and she was talking about the stuff she's been feeling. I don't know why we in like the library slash tech room or whatever, and she just saying everything. And I'm just like, all right. And she said that. She was like, it's I'm like 10 times more active now that I'm pregnant. I don't know what it is. It's just and I'm like, all right, okay. Um trying to do some schoolwork, but that's good to know. That's good
Good
to know.
talk. Good
Right?
talk.
I just put that in a little vote note, put it in the back. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that information. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
was talking. Go ahead. Go
wait.
ahead.
I was gonna say it's weird, but I mean I do understand that everybody's different, so it could be one of
Uh,
those. No, no,
I really don't feel like because you got in the situation, Mark. You got in the situation. Like that's how you got there. So like I don't
true.
unless you got raped, Like I don't know. Like maybe that might cause a little bit of different psychologically, but like I was telling no girl at work that she was like her husband was pissed at her and claiming that she was cheating on her because she won't she won't sleeping with him. And I was just like, that's a little out there, man. Like how does that work? Like when you had time to do that? Like I just don't understand. Like because like 40 hours a week you hear up in our face, irritating the shit out of us. So like we know for a fact that you ain't doing nothing at work. So like what is happening here? So she was just like, I don't know, but for as long as I can remember, like every time I got pregnant, I haven't been wanting anything. I was like, oh yeah, no doubt. You just don't like that dude. And she was like, nah, it's just how I am. I was like, yeah, because you don't like that motherfucker. Like,
Right.
I don't know
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. Like you don't like him. So like of course you don't want to do anything with him. Like I don't know. And I said I was like, yo, I don't really know like the female brain like that, but like something about drama and hostility make you dry. Like I don't know what it is. Like being pregnant and you supposed to be the provider and the protector. You ain't providing and protecting nothing. You giving me a headache. Like it don't seem like a good situation. And I was telling her and my counterpart, I was like, yeah, both of y'all was in the same situation. Y'all just ain't like the mother. Like y'all ain't like you ain't like your man. And they argue with it for a second. And like the next day she came back, she was like, I think you're right. I was like, because I asked the question, I was like, so you saying ain't nothing turning you on right now? Nothing at all. Like, excuse the fact that this is your husband. Think about all men, all genders, whatever the case is. Like, there's nothing turning you on right now. Are you serious? And she was like, you were right. I just don't
You're
like
right.
him. I just don't like him.
Oh man. Yep. Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Ah.
but anyway, man. But we turn this conversation into a talk about relationships and sex. Let's switch gears for a second. I
Alright.
want to talk about a video that I sent Marcus over the week and how it impacts people today, how it impacted me when I first seen it, and talk about the mentality around it. And for the most part, this is going to be. It feels like it's about to be a continuation of last week, something that we didn't necessarily hit on last week. So this is probably going to be a continuation of that conversation, if I'm being honest, because it's just something that needs to be discussed, man, and full detail, because there are people out here who really don't understand this concept that you got to be self-sufficient, man. That you got to figure out a way to make you had to figure out a way on your own, man. And you can't rely on anyone. And one of the things that I took from this video is that this man didn't take full responsibility of his own life. All right, so let me break down what the situation was as we go into it. Mark, do you remember the company? Like, I don't remember what company it was.
It was
You couldn't even remember that we watched the damn video, so I don't even know why I asked you that. I can't.
I honestly thought it was where we work at. But I think it was
No,
like some type of construction jank. Like I think they do maybe steel, because I think it said it.
I'm going to look into it to see what company it was. I mean, I don't really think it really mattered what company it was, honestly, because
Because that can
like,
happen at any job.
yeah, it happens in all of them. Hey, oh man, damn, what did I send that to you on?
Instagram.
It was Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So pretty much what happened was the guy, he's been working for a job for 30 years. And like for some of you guys who's listening to this, you could probably imagine this. You working for a job for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, so it was a trucking company. It doesn't matter which one.
Okay.
The guy had been working for a job for 30 years. And he is expecting, fully expecting a pension at the end of his tenure at this job. So imagine you expecting a certain payout or a certain benefit at the end of your employment at a certain business, and before you get out of it or before you retire, they tell you that this benefit is no longer a thing. So you had this retirement plan based off your job. I think they weren't getting rid of it. It was just like it was a match. I think they were doing. They were putting a certain amount in. They were matching a certain amount of the employee contribution. So they stopped matching the employee contribution. So it was just on the employee. I think that's pretty much what went down in this video. But the video was a supervisor or manager or whatever talking to it looked like just a startup meeting like before their shift or whatever. Rich people who listening to this, that like we actually do that in corporate America. We at the beginning of our shift we have a meeting before we get to work. But they were pretty he was pretty much explaining what was going on, and this guy flipped out. He flipped out on this guy. Like he was just like, 30 years I've been working for this MF and job, and this is how y'all do us, blase, blase, splee. This ain't right. This is stupid. This is that. Like he was going off on it. And I'm just looking at it like, yo, this dude really feel justified in this rant that he was doing. And it was a few things I noticed in the video when I watched it. But I'm gonna let you chime in on it and give your first thoughts on it.
I mean, like you say, he was going in, and the main thing was about the main line that I took from that. It was like, "Yo, y'all playing with my money. Y'all playing with people's money," and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but if you know, like you
that's
said,
big money.
he was in the facts. First of all, like you literally getting like crumbs from like but that's not here. Uh, but nah, if it's literally from like a trucking company, like I don't even know why he flipping out. Like we in dire need of truckers. Like you can go anywhere and make money doing trucking. You can get your own. It's like he wasn't thinking past his job. Like with the skills he has, he's a
So, all
automatic
right, so
money
yeah,
maker.
and I get you. I understand that, Mark. But here's what you are forgetting: the fact that he's already been working for 30 years, so he's thinking about
That's
retiring.
true.
So his skills is not a skill.
Yeah.
That skill that you say that he has, it probably was a skill at 30. But this man is somewhere near 60 years old
Mm.
and planning to go out to his golden years, and he can't do that, or he can't do it if as effectively as he thought he would be able to.
I feel that. As I mean, like we said in the last week's episode, like you gotta plan bigger than yourself. He was probably living from paycheck to paycheck, even putting in overtime here and there, trying to have like a little extra just to have a cushion, which probably won't no more than maybe let's be generous, say 5,000. He got 5,000 in the savings, ain't touched it. That's for like a rainy day. And now the retirement money that he thought he was gonna have at the end of putting in all these years, it ain't gonna be as much as he thought it was, or it ain't gonna be lavish as he thought it was. And now he ain't got shit to do. He up shit's creek, you know,
I'm
with
just
no paddle.
wondering, when is it ever?
I don't know, man. We get into this mindset as not only black people but poor people that a job is gonna save us. A job is gonna be our end all be all, and I don't understand it. Like if you ain't with the up and up now, you literally just choose not to see it. Like you have jobs like this, doing stuff like this every day. Like I'm pretty sure there's a statistic somewhere. There's some numbers being crunched that jobs are, they promise you this when you first start, and then by the end of your 60, 30 plus years, however long you work for them, it changes. It's not the same. We ain't getting the same benefits as we was at first when we first started.
Nah, hell no.
And people get upset over that. I'm like, what did you expect from this? This is a job. This is a company. There are people making decisions for you that don't work in this building. They
Yeah,
sitting in some office somewhere in a
yep.
nice fancy city, and they living their best life while you over here slaving.
Mm-hmm.
And you like, oh, I'm gonna work till my retirement. I'm gonna get this pension or this whatever, this retirement plan,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna sit back and chill, drink me
Mm-hmm.
a couple beers, watch the game, and I'm gonna live out my life, live out my
Mm-hmm.
old age. You know, babysit the grandkids, cause that's what we on. We I don't know how many times I done went drop chased off, and all I see is a bunch of grandmas bringing their kids to school. That's another thing, right? You plan to have kids and all this other stuff. You plan to have a job. You trying to get to this retirement, but like a good portion. Let's say retirement is what you work with the company for 36 years, 30 or 60, depending on the job.
Hell, you working on 60 years, man. 30 years usually.
30 years.
20 years is like the minimum, but like just depending on how old you were when you started working for them.
Let's say you started working 20, 21. You have a kid 20, 22, maybe 24. Their whole adolescence on to teenage or adult years, you done missed a good chunk of that because of work. That don't make people feel a certain type of way.
It made me feel a certain type of way, and that's not even my reality yet, bro.
Exactly.
Like I'm sitting here stressing out, and I'm talking to Bishop about it, and like I'm trying to figure out, like, yo, what are you doing to get out of this situation? Because I'm like, you gotta be feeling the same way I feel right now. You got two.
Mm-hmm.
Before I had one on the way, I was stressing out about this. What are you doing? And like, I hate to call him out like that, but damn, bro, I'm like, yo, you like, what are we even talking about? Why are we talking about half of the shit we talking about? If we in situations that we don't like, and we in situations that don't feed our soul, because it ain't feeding our soul, bro. That's it, and that's the problem that I'm having with it. Like, we just going with the flow, and at the end of it all, everybody ends up like the dude on the video. At the end of it all, like everybody ends up like the dude on the video. We all end up in a room somewhere cussing people out about what we believe is right or fair for our compensation or whatever. Like, and like you said, like the dude was talking about how y'all playing with my money. That was his line, right? You playing with my money. But it ain't though. It's not your money. And like I'm pretty sure there's somebody listening to this who's like, I agree. Companies should be, holding their end of the bargain. But like if you think about it, right? Think about it like this. Companies make decisions to either they like decisions like this. Companies make decisions like this to either grow or keep from not growing. Like they make decisions like this to grow or to not die. Like this is why they make decisions like this, right? And on both ends of the spectrum, it's beneficial. It's not beneficial to you in the moment, but it keeps that company afloat. Like for instance, a benefit is taken away when a company grows. Imagine, you get stock bonuses, right? And we talked about this on a previous episode, right? And I expressed my disdain for the decision, but I understand the decision nonetheless. One of the companies that Mark and I worked for, we had stock bonuses or stock options at one point. Stock was like $2,000 a share at one point, and they were automatically giving it to everybody who came in the building. I vested, and the stock, I had the stock fully, and somehow it sold right from under my nose. Like they sent me a random ass check and was like, "Here's your money." And I was like, this ain't what I wanted. Like, I don't know who did this, who made the decision. Why ain't nobody called me, let me know this was happening? I would have left it in there. Like, I don't know what, but it happened. And it was because the company decided that they were going to part ways with the philosophy that we are going to give our associates that much money. Like we were going to part with the idea of giving them that much stock in the company. Because it was two units of stock, right? It was just two.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was the company grew so much and scaled so much that the stock started to split because it started going into different avenues. And had every associate who had stock kept their stock, all of us would end up rich in Amazon. Or just rich in the it was a lot. It would have been a lot of money. It would have been more money than most people are used to after that stock split. It was about, I think it was like what I calculated was like 15 to 20 shares that people would have had. So you talking all of your stock split, all your associates just get a random ass bonus or just a random ass bonus or somewhere about $5,000 to $10,000, and because people are so short sighted, they would have saw that money, and most of them would have quit and sold their stock. So the company that you're working for, they get all that stock being sold back. Then the company goes into a deficit because all their stock goes down. Or their stockholders are disappearing, and then you don't have a job altogether. But people were really pissed about that stock not being taken. Like they were really pissed about that, and they were it was short sighted. They were just looking at the fact that they didn't have that money, that option anymore. They were just looking at that. That was the only thing they were looking at. But Amazon saw GameStop. They saw GameStop. They saw what happened to GameStop. They know that GameStop about almost on the verge of going out of business because of that, or because of what happened to them. They knew that, so they got smart about it. And the thing is that when stuff like that happens, folks, you can't be in your feelings about it. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Mark, what you got?
I was gonna say, if people did get to keep their stocks, it wouldn't have been nothing good. Like I was picturing in my head, I was like, it would have probably been like a bunch load of Teslas out there,
Nah, we wouldn't have coworkers, bro.
Nah. Some people they still on that. Even though they got that large amount of money, they still need to make more. They still need to.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, most of the people that we work with have never seen a large
Large sum.
drop of money that significant. We talking like $10,000 to $20,000 at least, bro. Depending on how long you work there.
Mm. That's
I remember how I was when I was 17 years old and I got 19 years old and I got my bonus money from the army. I remember how I was. I remember how I felt. And the fact of the matter is that most people feel the same exact way when it comes to money because they've never seen that much money being given to them at one time. And because of last week's episode, we know they don't have a plan for the money when they get it.
facts. But that's interesting to see and to know, like, uh, how people can get large sums of money like that. Like, you know, person that won the lottery, uh, people that just for some reason a job just I ain't gonna say bless them, but gives them something like that. They sold our stock, but we did get a chunk of change from it, and like we said in last week's episode, the plan is always to catch up on bills or to overpay something or pay something in advance,
Yeah,
and you put yourself right back into the same position. Like I don't understand it because even though you paid something in advance, so you're literally taking a large sum of money and giving it away
yeah,
because you're not doing nothing useful. You're literally giving it away, and you're back in the same position. Like even if you were to pay the stuff in advance and then use your own money to buy whatever, uh, fix up the house, do whatever, your finances aren't doing anything. It's literally staying the same. There's no plan to invest and grow. There's no plan to uh do anything but spend the money. That's all you're doing is spending the money, which puts you right back to needing a job. I don't understand it. Like we need to have a plan for our finances. We need to plot these courses, learn something other than being a consumer. That it's just that simple,
Mm.
but people don't understand it. Period.
Yeah, but it's not simple because you going against when you make these decisions, you're going against your very nature. You want stuff because you never had anything. That's the fact of the matter. You want it because you never had it, and you want to live for a change. And tangible things like buying stuff makes people feel like they're alive. And I understand that. I get it. You know, you were raised in the hood. I was raised in the hood, so yeah, I can relate to this. Um, but you were raised in the hood, and you 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 never had nothing. Like you were raised on your parents were paycheck to paycheck. You were never able to have the um the 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 Jordans or the Nikes that everybody else had. Society around you made it so that this was the end all be all. If you didn't have these shoes on, then you were seen as less than. Um, People clown you for buying clothes from Walmart. Um,
Bruh, that
Stuff
always
like that.
killed me.
Stuff like
My
that. Just you know, everybody always had a nicer car than you. Everybody always had a bigger house than you. Like it's stuff like that. You know, you just get into a mind space where I gotta buy stuff to make myself happy, and overall, that's literally what people do when they get these large sums of money, and that's what would have happened if we kept our stock. Like realistically, that's what would have happened,
Yeah.
and we would have, and people would have quit. Like just being real, Mark. Like, oh, I got $20,000. I'm rich now, man. F this job. I don't need this job, man. Screw this. I'm out.
But that's another thing, right? That
Yep.
25K, right? You done worked so long, and it just dropped. It just dropped it. But do you know there's people out here that see that number a month, a week?
Yeah, I know
And
people who see that number. They don't work at all, but when they do work, that's what they get. Like I know people who said that you couldn't get them out of bed for less than $30,000.
and it's crazy because the job had just started. We had some downtime. We was talking. And they was talking
More
about
people talk.
they was talking about another company that similar company that started people off at 15. And then they said the same thing. Man, you can't get me out of bed for 15 an hour. You can't even get me to fill up my tank for $15 an hour. I'm like, but you ain't making much more. We making 18. What is that to 15? Like
Get out of here, man.
what what is you talking about here? What I was like, oh my Jesus, this is and they think they hot stuff because they making more, but I'm just like, what are y'all doing outside of this to not be here? Like you still gotta wake up, come in, clock in, and do work. Yeah, you might be in the office, you got the AC on or whatever, but this could all go up in flames in no time. Like
Yeah.
the company I'm working for, they got a bid on work. If we're not efficient, they just go to another contractor. Or if we're charging too much, they just go to another contractor that'll charge less and that'll get the job done in time. Like
Don't
we
like
ain't
that.
nothing special.
Damn. Damn. That's real. That's real. All right. I'm actually like real glad though, because like I didn't want to hear this type of conversation in person, and just recently they had another wage conversation at work, and did the same thing that they did last time, but that was also the day that I had to get Alyssa out of there because it was the day after she took her spill or whatever, and we didn't know her arm was broke at the time, so we she was just trying to walk around and do regular stuff with it, and
I can imagine.
it didn't go good. It didn't go good, so we had to rush on up out of there. But we rushed up out of there after they told us the leadership about it, and they were like, all right, so and our building manager, he was like, yeah, so leadership, I want you guys in the room with the associates when we go over this with them to make sure that we keep everything. I was like, look, man, I will give you that raise back. I will give you that raise back willingly if I could not be in the room. I would do that for. I will give it back. I would continue making my previous wage, all in exchange for not being in the room when you tell these poor people that they're getting a raise. Like I would not like to be in the room for that. But luckily, I ain't gonna say the grace of God because it wasn't a graceful situation. But I mean, luckily it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, he got me up out of there by allowing my wife to be hurt. If that makes sense to you.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happened for a reason, man. Everything happened for a reason.
But the stuff that we let happen to us, or the stuff that we let get under our skin because we didn't have a plan, or we didn't do anything to
Fair.
be put in a better position,
Yeah.
there's no one to blame for that. Like I honestly don't understand. Like I said, we've jobs have been out here. Jobs ain't it's not a new thing. It's been here for ages, centuries, decades,
Yeah.
freaking lifetimes and whatever. And we just assume that everything is gonna work out. If I put my time, my blood, sweat, and tears into a company will have my back. And I'm like, this has been proven to not be the case. And we still put our faith. We literally take our lives and be like,
Mhm.
here, I want you to have this, and I'm gonna work for you and only you until I can retire, or basically
Yeah.
until I die. Cause
Yeah.
you, and I'm like, is no one hungry enough to want more for themselves? To
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not only are they not hungry, they're delusional in the process. Cause
cause
like
like we
something.
oh
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna say like we talked about before about certain associates. Like if you've given up that far on life, what are you complaining for?
Yeah, that's fair. Like you should be the happiest person in the world. You ain't got no goals, no dreams, no aspirations. You ain't never wanted nothing for nothing. Like just go ahead and just accept your defeat the way it is, and just keep it moving. Like there's nothing left for you. You decided that you were going to give up everything that you are to do this of all things. This is what you decided that you wanted to do. You wanted to do this of all things. Nothing else, just this. And you're upset with the rest of the world because this is what you wanted to do. And because this isn't enough and it never will be enough, now you're taking it out on everybody else because you decided that this was enough for you, but it ain't enough. The body, I'm gonna say this right. Yeah, I'm gonna need your help backing me up on this, Mark. When the stomach is hungry, you can't give the stomach a peanut, one peanut a day, and expect the stomach to be satisfied. The stomach is still hungry.
Most
The stomach is still hungry. All right. I can't eat one leaf of spinach and decide that I'm okay for the day. The stomach is still hungry, folks. So imagine if that's life, right? Imagine life being the stomach that's hungry. You're feeding your life peanuts. And the reason I know you're only feeding your life peanuts is because that's all these big corporations are giving you. They're giving you peanuts. They're not giving you full meals. They're not designed to give you full meals. But you're accepting peanuts as your full meal. But you're still hungry. And you're not doing anything else. You're not doing anything to fulfill your life. So you continuously receive peanuts. Your entire life, you're continuously receiving peanuts. And we talked about it. You have, and I promise you, if you don't have the desires, you're going to have a family that's going to have desires for you. And some of you are living in darkness because your families have desires and you don't. And while you're sitting up there receiving peanuts, your family wants full meals. So they're going to want it for you. And here's what happens in situations like that. As a grown man who is in a situation where I'm about to start a family, there's nothing that's going to keep my kid from wanting life and the way life is supposed to be had. But here's what happens to most people in this society. Because we are so focused on the reality of the fact that we're only getting peanuts, We look at our children who wants full meals, who wants the world, who feel like they deserve the world because the world is in front of them. We look at them, make them understand that they are a problem because they want the world and snuff out their dreams at home.
Mm.
Meanwhile, in the process, you are intentionally helping the creation of a society that has no dreams, no goals, and no aspirations.
Yeah.
So in the paper that I wrote about achieving success after parenthood, there was a line in there that my instructor said it made her double think her own life. And I was like, I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened, but thank you for the good grade. Um,
Come on.
but pretty much what I said was, in a society where people are where people aren't chasing their dreams and their goals,
Mm-hmm.
it causes a psychological trigger in their children. And what happens with their children is their children see that they are not following their goals. They're not chasing their dreams. Their children see that they are stagnant. Their children see that they are, and I'm paraphrasing obviously. I don't remember exactly what I wrote. But their children see that they are not chasing their dreams and their goals, and their children follow suit because they don't believe that they don't believe that following their dreams actually results in anything because their parents didn't do it.
Mm.
So you got something, Mark? Because I can keep going, bro.
I was gonna say, I mean, there is a group that is breaking away from that. You know, I was gonna say that's why a lot of older people today, they don't understand that. They see it as, oh, you know, young people today, they don't want to work.
Right.
No,
Right.
we don't want to live y'all lifestyle. We don't want to live
Yeah,
like
man.
y'all live. Like we trying
We
to
don't want to be the guy in this video.
facts. Like there's a whole world out there that a good percentage of people don't even get to explore. Like who out here have seen crystal clear waters where you can see straight down to the bottom? Who
Right.
out here have been to I don't know where it is, but there's a place where the water is literally pink. Like for whatever
Oh
reason, jank
yeah.
pink, look beautiful. Who out here swam with dolphins? No one out here doing that. Not from
Mm-hmm.
Lawrenceville. Not that I know. Actually, I do know one person that did it, but that's she on her she on her come up. She on her glow up. She doing great for herself. But like that one person out of this small town has done that. But you go talk to people around here, dolphins. I ain't swimming with no dolphins. I can't swim. First of all, I can't swim. So that automatically
Already
excludes
count
them from
yourself out.
like. And I'm like, we got a county pool. You could go learn. You could do anything you literally want to do, but
Yeah,
because
but
of the
why?
environment.
Why do that? I ain't got no plans on doing that. I ain't got no plans to live in my life.
That's the reason right there. You ain't got a plan. You could be out here living your life, but you slaving, going to the same job that's been in this small town for years. You know, since 1700, this building's still here. Ain't been upgraded or nothing. Like it's just standing up by faith at this point. You know, and they
Faith
go to
and
that
duct tape.
jank. Faith and duct tape. They go to that jank each and every day. Yeah. Then try to put the kids on. Oh, this is a good job here. You got so many benefits. You can retire at such and such age, still be in the same town.
Man. And it's crazy, right? Because as you say that, I think about some stuff that I seen at work. Like, you know how work computers, they always have like the little like random landscape pictures and stuff, where it's like different places and different locations or whatever. And like it'll tell you exactly where the place is if you go click on the top right corner of the picture. One day I was like, I saw something come up on somebody's computer, and I was just like, yo, what? You know, it don't come up on mine since I got some Make the Universe stuff on my joint. So it don't even come up on mine. And I was like, yo, hold up, what's that? What's that? Hold up, real quick. Like what? And like, but she had already clicked on the joint to start typing her password, and she was like, what? I was like, yo, I was trying to see where that was. She's like, I was like, you didn't see that? She was like, see what? I was like, the screensaver. You didn't see that? I was like, yo, I'm trying to see where that was. So, you know, we waited for the joint, the default, whatever. Yeah, we waited for the timeout and clicked on the picture, and I saw the location or whatever. Pulled out my phone and put it in my notepad. She was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, every time I see those, you know, it's always a random place on it. It looks interesting. I put it in my places to visit notepad on my phone." And she was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." I showed it to her. Long list of places that I want to visit or whatever that I can put on my vision board. And she was like, "You know what? Half of the time these things come up, I don't even pay them no mind. They just pictures.
Wonder why.
They just pictures." I was like, "Wow,
Facts.
Wow, bruh. So you getting the exposure? You getting the exposure is right here. Somebody went here to take this picture. You seeing this through somebody else's eyes, bruh, and you still not paying attention."
They probably didn't even think that was on Earth. They was like, somebody.
It's 3D animated. Made in Blender. They made it right in Blender, bro. Like you just straight up ignored it, bro. Like it was right there, and it comes up on every single computer, bro. I was like, yo, I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on default so I can see these my damn self. Like I like this.
Yeah, mine's come up on my computer. They give you an option to if you like it, they'll keep showing it, or you could also, you know, save it.
Oh no, I don't want to like it. I want them to show me more. I ain't gonna like nothing. I'm show me more. Like yeah, keep rotating them. I got you. Yeah, we'll like them after we see everything.
Right. Yep.
But, bruh, I need y'all to understand, man. I need y'all to understand that everything that happens in your life is your fault. Good or bad is your fault. Win or loss is your fault. Like, I heard a dude say that, and this was Greg Cardone, mind you, but my man said that if a situation is happening in my life, it is my fault. It's my fault. If I leave my house and I'm driving today, and I get into a car accident, it's my fault. And so he said, somebody might ask, but Grant, somebody T-boned you, man. That ain't your fault. You got hit from the side, man. They took you out. Said, it's still my fault. What got into me for me to leave my house at that moment, for me to get T-boned? I could have left 5 seconds earlier. I could have left 5 seconds later. I could have been on time. I could have been late. What caused me to leave my house at that moment so I could get T-boned by another vehicle? He said, take full responsibility of everything that happens in your life. Full responsibility. And some of the comments that I'm looking at on this video that we're talking about today, a lot of people are saying that it's messed up that it happened to my man. It is unfair, whatever. We gonna scrap those people. The few comments that I'm looking at is that, a man should be able to feed his own life and not worry about anybody else. Or a man should take full responsibility of his own finances and stop waiting for somebody to hand him out something. One of the few of the comments that I read in that particular space right there.
Come on.
So there's and it looked like it's about a 1% ratio of people who are saying that the right stuff, who are telling it like it is, like, yo, this is ridiculous. Like, My man is sitting up here making an ass of himself. And then on top of that, bro, he probably gonna get fired after the fact. Like, let's be real. Because ain't nobody trying to work with.
In the video, it seemed that he was the only one, going off. Everybody else
Nah,
was just,
it was a dude. It was a dude standing way in the back, like, tell him. Like, it was, it
well,
was a dude
he
standing
ain't gonna
way
get
in the back.
fired. He
Oh,
ain't gonna
hell
get
nah.
fired.
Hell nah. He gonna be good. He's like, nah, man, I just agree with him, man. He's like, yeah, but you know, this is, do you feel the same way? That, nah, man, no.
Against company policy.
You know what I'm saying? He just agreeing with you. It's symbolic.
Mm-hmm.
it don't have no real weight. It's just symbolic. But like, I noticed also like some of the other folks in the room, they look like they were good. Like some of the other folks, they was just watching it, just waiting, just like, all right, cool. It's just another stand up meeting. Like, yeah, they probably thinking about what they want for dinner that night. It's just like just chilling. And this man just he giving his whole life out. He's just like, yo, like, man, that's messed up. F this, man. Y'all playing my money. Like, nah, bruh. You got the game all twisted. You playing with your money. Thank you. Oh, goddamn. Bro, for real. Some people argue with that fact that it is your responsibility to do these things. It's your responsibility to make sure that you are taking care of what you need to take care of. I have never put it in my job's hands to take care of my family. I've never put it in my job's hands. That's why I work as much as I do. Man. Like, I've never put it in my job is not responsible for me succeeding. That's not how this works. If my job decided that they were going to stop paying for school today, I got a plan. Though it may not be a pretty plan, but I have a plan. There's a plan to get this thing rolling. So like, for real, every aspect of your life you have to have a plan for. Everything that you do, you have to have a plan for. Everything that you do. And it's like, for real, it's not even about a plan, but like, you have to make sure that you're moving in the right direction. And the right direction ain't sitting still. And when you wait for a job to pay you out after 30 years, that's the definition of sitting still, folks. That is the very definition of sitting still. Because when you get to where you're trying to go, as this guy just showed us, you might not get what you think you're going to get. All right, and hold up. Before we end it off, like, let me break that part down because some people might not understand that. When you get to where you're trying to get, your job might get to a different location. They might pull that goalpost back a little bit. That's what I mean by that. They're gonna pull that goalpost back. Why? It's not to spite you. Like, let's get that out of here. It's not to spite you. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with sustainability. And because if they continue doing what they're doing while you are coming up, then they might not be able to sustain that forever. And that is why these things happen. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand it is just business. There's no ill will towards you when it comes to doing these things. It is just business. It's literally just to keep your company afloat or make your company grow, depending on what their goal is. Most companies are only focused on growth right now. That's why they keep hiring people. That's why they keep firing people. That's why management keeps recycling. That's why the attrition rate is so bad, because they're trying to find the right people to keep their company growing. That is why things are happening. That is why new buildings are being built. That is why, things are getting a little less chaotic, because the company is continuing to grow. Things are taking place that are sending them into their next level. But their next level and your next level don't look the same, because you ain't a big company. You just you. You just you and your family. So you need to be thinking about you and your family because they're not thinking about you or your family. That's why you got to be responsible. That's why you got to hold yourself accountable for doing the things that you need to do. That's why you need to take responsibility of the things that you got going on. That's why you need to be the one taking care of your family, not them. You need to be figuring out how to make your own money because if you figure out how to do it on your own, and nobody can tell you that you can't make the money that you say you want to make at the end of your life.
All right, people. Just like Max said, you gotta take life into your own hands. Um, Stop looking at your managers, supervisors, the people over top of you. Stop looking at them as the saviors. And
Chances are they in the same boat.
facts, like about time they come to you to give you the information that this change is happening. Change has already been set in stone. It's already been the shift has already been made. The announcement or whatever for the big corporation, it's already you the last to know. Everybody been knowing about
Mm-hmm.
this. You the last to know. So
Yep.
it's no point in getting upset. Like your managers can't change nothing. You can't change nothing because you didn't put yourself in that. But you didn't already gave your life away. Like Max said, you sitting still. So I don't know what you getting mad at. Like you not growing. You not learning anything. You just coming to work and going home. Like you work your 9 to 5. You do your time and you go home. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got no extra curricular activities going on outside of work. So you just you at the mercy of your work. You at the mercy of your job. And you complaining. Like what? Do what you need to do to get out your job. Do what you need to do to have a nice, successful business. I know we ain't seen it. We don't know what it looks like, but there's people out here that just go to YouTube and be like, yo, I could do that. You got notary, you got fingerprints, you can any one of those janks, you can work for the government. That's a job or a skill that the government needs. Like they need people for this. And the government ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So boom. Why don't you be a value to the government? Why don't you be a value to your country? I ain't gonna say go in the military. I mean that's obvious.
All that though, like, and I feel you when you say that, but like all those are jobs. Like
Yes,
for real, like at the end of the day, even I was a government employee and they like the government changed their rules just like the jobs do. So I wouldn't personally recommend that. I strongly believe that a person should be trying to figure out how to get their streams of income independently.
I feel that.
Like, yeah, you can be of value to the government. Like, I ain't about to dispute that. Mark is right about that. But at the end of the day, you like these are people that like the people that we're talking to right now are job oriented people, and they continuously seek paychecks and not profits.
Hmm.
And that's part of the problem because every time you look at money, you look at it from a paycheck to paycheck mentality. You look at it
I
from a
feel that.
W-2 mindset, and you need to be looking at it from a CEO mindset. You need to be trying to figure out how to create the money instead of making the money. And folks are constantly looking for somebody to give them a paycheck. You constantly looking for somebody to be on payroll for. Like you need to be talking about the payroll. That's why people are getting so upset because you are a money maker. You
Mm-hmm.
are a money maker. Nobody told you that you wasn't. And you know for a fact that inside your internal heart of hearts that you are, and you continuously live like an employee on a W-2 mindset. So that's the problem that I have with that mentality. So yeah, man, I recommend going out to find your own, man.
Feel that. Feel that. All right, Mac. What we got coming up for the people?
At the moment, I don't have anything pressing. I decided that I was going to stop working on the comic book. I've spent way too much time working on it to get to where it is right now, and I need to be focusing on the main thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the cover and let the other stuff sit for a minute.
Mhm.
The children's book is finished,
Okay.
so got that done. But like I said, that even that's in the same boat. I think at some point when money start rolling in the way we need it to, I think I'm going to I think I'm going to outsource those projects, man, and get those finished the way they're supposed to be finished. Because there's no point in me half-assing doing everything. So I'm going to focus on the books and the books alone. I've already laid the groundwork. Like I said, everything is already like I have the comic books like sketched out, but it just need to be I just need to do line work and all that other stuff like that. So eventually somebody will come along and get those done. I had a project file ready to go for them, but you know the groundwork has already been done. The hard part has been done. I laid down the groundwork. I paved I put the
Paperweight.
foundation down. I laid the slab so somebody can come in and make that thing happen for the work currently working on book one right now. You know, just to I wanted to put all my focus into that because there's no point of me going around the world doing all these other things when book one still needs to be completed. So that's what I'm working on right now, man. As far as I know, I still don't have a date clarified on when we're gonna have that re-release for book one, but it is in the works.
Word. Um, I ain't got too much to share. I ain't got nothing. I ain't producing nothing of it yet. But I am getting my stuff together, making a plan for uh the things that I'm doing. You know, the notary work, the new job I just started. It's not in vain. I'm not leaving one job to go into another. No, we have a set plan. Well, I have a set plan. You know, with court and the little one involved, all that being involved, with Mac and mine and his baby girl. It's a girl, y'all. You ain't even say the gender. You ain't even do the gender reveal for the people.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, all of that is in mind and the plan for greatness. Like I just, I'm tired. I'm tired of just standing still. As Mac said, we fall into that. We're human. We fall into that just as everyone else. But we have plans to get out of this. We are planning. Things are in the works to not be here. One day we might be doing this podcast on like the beach or something, or at like this lavish hotel. All you see right now is just white nothingness, but it's gonna change.
yeah, yeah,
Amen.
absolutely, man.
Alrighty, people. This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. We just want to give y'all the motivation to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace, love y'all. See y'all next week.